Okay, we're holding over here. We're holding at the Mishnah. Homer li'isha, harev mukdeshesli amnasha deber alecho d'shilton. A woman says to a woman, a man says to a woman, I will marry you on the condition that I will speak on your behalf to the ruler, to the governor. Meaning she needs something, and she says, I will speak on your behalf. So that service has value. So in terms of that value of that service, I'm marrying you with the value of that service. Ve'esi imoch kepoel. And I will do something on your behalf as a worker, whatever the service may be, because that service has value. Dibur alei l'shilton. Factually, he did. He spoke on her behalf to the ruler. Vosi imoch kepoel. And he offered the service as a worker. Mukadeshes. And of course, the value is a shavet pruto. Vimlav, if he did not, any mukadeshes. We'll see. When you understand how Rish Lakish learns the Mishnah, then you'll understand what the chiddush is. So there's a discussion now. Did he give her a shavet pruto? And he said, on the condition I speak to the ruler, I'm married with a penny on the condition that I speak to the ruler on your behalf. Wait, right? Or I'm giving you the penny on the condition that I will offer you the service as an employee. Is that? And therefore, if you don't, it's a conditional marriage? Was the Mishnah saying, no, that actually the service or the value of speaking to the ruler, that's what I'm marrying you, I'm not marrying you. And that's the discussion over here. What exactly is the Mishnah? Is it a condition? Or no, that's the actual marriage itself? No, it's retroactive. It's retroactive. If it's a condition, it's retroactive. Well, we're going to have that in a minute. The Gemara is going to ask the question from there. Omer Rish Lakish. So Rish Lakish says, the Mishnah, when it says, Almanas, that I speak on your behalf to the ruler, or to do the service, offer you the service, Hushenos lo shavet pruta. Initially he gave her something worth minimally a shavet pruto. Ubescharlo. Stop. But in terms of the value of the service, he's not marrying with that. Wait. Kasha from Naisa, because she wouldn't be agreeable. He knows she needs a favor. So she'll only be agreeable if I offer that service. But he's not marrying with that service. Therefore, that service is a precondition to the marriage. Otherwise, she's not going to be agreeable. So I'm marrying with the penny on the condition I will offer the service to speak to the ruler or whatever that need, whatever that chore is. Be patient, you'll get it. Rish Lakish says she will not be married. The Mishnah says she's not married. What are you talking about? The service. I will marry you with the value of speaking to the king. Rish Lakish says, Einu Mukadeshes. She says, yes, Einu Mukadeshes. So the question is, why? Right. You got to talk in everybody's context. A lawyer is going to deal with your insurance company, okay? He says, if you marry me, I will do it for nothing, right? Woman podiatrist, not alone. Well, that's what the Gemara is going to say. So the question is, why is it a milva? The Gemara is going to, Rish Lakish is going to explain it's a milva. It's makavish b'milva. That's why I said it. So that's the chiddush. Yeah, but the question is, why is this milva? The service has value. So we have this in the second parak. When you work, if a person, let's say, works, although the fee is paid at the end, did the fee accumulate? And it's only at the end is when you pay it. So therefore, you're paying something that you owed. Well, no. When you work for someone, and let's say we quantify what the value is, the obligation is only when you complete the chore. So it's at the last moment. So it's not I'm paying something I owed, but rather it's the last moment I'm giving you something. Right? That's yesh l'schiris mitchila v'atzof, or ein l'schiris ela b'sof. That's what the Gemara is going to discuss in a moment. Okay? So that's going to be the chiddush. Reish Lakish understands the Mishnah. The reason why he has to give a descent is understood. The condition is also understood. You marry with a condition, you meet the condition, yes, you don't meet the condition, not. But that's not the emphasis. The emphasis is, but why can't I marry with the service? Because the service is a milveh. Because the way the structure is that the obligation doesn't come about the last moment, you won't pay at the last moment. But the obligation has been accumulating. So therefore, when you pay, what am I paying? I'm paying off a debt that was owed, but you're not actually giving her anything. I'm relieving you of a debt, but what did you transfer? You didn't give her anything. Therefore, Ishlok says, therefore you have to be Mekadosh B'Pruta. And the service is only a condition for the marriage. David, you with us? Okay, let's see the inside. Samar says, Ubeschar lo. Reish Lakish is saying that the service is not sufficient to marry her. He has to give her hard money, right? The penny. That's hard money. Ubeschar lo. Votanya, we learned in the Brisa, Beschar shirkavticha lachamor. In terms of the way, the money of the value of assisting you to mount a donkey. Shushavticha bekoron, to assist you to go into the wagon, into the coach. What? Shushavticha. Obisvina. He's already done it. The schar that I assisted you to mount the donkey, or I assisted you to go into the coach. Obisvina. Something I did in the past. That means that's speaking about money that I owe you. And Mukadeshes. That's Mekadosh B'Milveh. Right? I will relieve you of that if you agree to marry me. But what is he giving her? He's not giving her. That's Mekadosh B'Milveh and Mukadeshes. Correct? Woman borrows $1,000. And she still has the coins in her hand. And the man says, you know something? Let it not be a loan. I'm willing to forego it. Take it for marriage. And Mukadeshes, because the money she has in her hand, that's her money. He's only relieving her of the debt. He's not giving her anything. Okay? If he says, Hanos Mechilas Milveh, the value, what you would pay for the debt to be waived, so that he's giving her right now. But the actual $1,000, he's not giving her $1,000 at this moment. Okay? So to relieve her of the money that she owes him, Eid Mukadeshes, that's Mekadosh Milveh. What about B'schar Kivcho? That I will. When I will assist you to mount the donkey, alachamor shoshivcho oshivech bakaron, or I will assist you to sit in the coach, o besvina mukadeshes. So we'll see there for the service that I will, is mukadeshes. So you see that's not called considered mekadosh b'milveh. Marry you that I will speak on your behalf to the ruler, to the governor, right? Or I will do the chore for you. The Bryce says mukadeshes. So what does Rish Lakish say in our Mishnah? It's only if he gives her the cent. But if not, she's not Mukudeshes. We have an explicit brisa that says Mukudeshes. She is married. Okay? Howard, you with me? Maybe the brisa is also speaking, he gave her a pruta. Right? Well, b'schar komar. It can't be. Because it says, with the value of the service, right? Payment of the service. Even though, the Gemara could have said something more simple. What? No, because schar, what does schar mean? The money you owe with the wage. Schar means the wage. If he's giving a prut, it's not a wage. He's giving her something. He's not giving her the value of the service. He gave her the pruta. Schar means the value of the service, right? But it could have said something simple. If he gave her the pruta, the bryce is differentiating between what I've done or what I will do. But if he's giving her pruta, that's what he's marrying her with, right? What difference does it make? Whether it's the past or the future, right? He's giving her the coin at this moment. But the Gemara doesn't even have to go there. It's just, it's explicit. It says b'schar. Schar doesn't mean the pruta. What? I understand that, but I'm saying, no, again, I want you to appreciate what I'm asking. What do we have to say the reason? Because it says b'schar, the Bryce makes a differentiation, whether it's past or future. What I've done or what I will do. But if he's marrying with descent and the other thing is only a condition, right? So she should be married. Whether it was the service I offered or the service that I will do. Right? One thing more to say simply. If it's Makadish B'Pruta, there's no difference. The answer, so I'm saying the answer is because it says, it's explicit in the Brisa. We'd have to analyze cases, past, future. It says, B'schar. You say, why is it white? Because it's not green. It's white because it's white. You're not telling me because it's not green? Right? The same thing. It says explicit B'schar. So B'schar means not with a pruta. That's what he's marrying her with. Yeah, but the Gemara doesn't say that's the reason why not. Right? The Gemara says maybe you want to answer. Rish Lakish says he's Makadosh B'Pruta. So I'm saying that's impossible. Because Makadosh B'Pruta, why does the Bryce differentiate? But, well, no, without the Schar. Schar is a different reason. No, the Gemara says the reason why, because it's B'Schar. That's why it's clear it's not B'Pruta. The Gemara could have said something else, like what I'm saying. So why doesn't the Gemara say what I'm saying? Why does it say B'Schar? The answer is because the Gemara is saying what's more simple. Because it says explicitly he's marrying with the Schar, not with the Pruta. What I'm saying is also correct. But what's the obvious reason why it's not B'Pruta? Because it says B'Schar, not B'Pruta. Avrami. Yeah. Okay. V'o Tanyo. We have another brisa. It says, Shev imi b'tzapso, v'akarish loch. A woman feels lonely. She says, if you keep me company, the value of that I'll be agreeable to marry you. Shev b'tzapso. Schok lefonai. Right? So, be joyful before me. Right? Howard, a good joke. Rekod lefonai. Dance before me. Asik kedimus lehazer. I want you to replicate this row of stones. Shomin im yesh bo shove prutim kodeshes. You evaluate the service, the dancing, the moment. He's a comedian, right? You evaluate if the value of the dancing or the joke or whatever the service is a pruta bukodeshes, v'maveinu bukodeshes. V'chitei mehochanam. So we see over there that the service itself is sufficient. You don't have to give a pruta. Chitei mehochanam b'diyov shove pruta. Maybe it's also speaking. He gave a v'shomin also come out. It says you evaluate it. You evaluate the service, and if the value of the service is a pruta, she's mukadeshes. But if he's giving a pruta, what do we have to make any evaluation? Right? No. What you're saying is not correct. What you just said is not. She said, keep me company, put me in a good mindset. So tell me a joke. Dance before me. So maybe it's speaking about that's a condition. That is the condition, but of course he's marrying her he's giving her assent. That's what the Gemara says. Gemara can't be. Because if that's the case, what do we have to evaluate the service and see if it's worth a pruta? If he's marrying with a pruta, it's irrelevant what the service is worth. It's only a condition to the marriage. Right? So it seems to be Tiyuf to the Reish Lakish. So these two brises is a refutation of Reish Lakish. You see, even if he doesn't give a pruta, the service itself is sufficient to be the value for the kedushin. Okay? Omalach Reish Lakish. Hai Tana Bro. Now this is important. Now we have two things. We have a thing called Mishnah and we have Brisa. Why is a Brisa called Brisa? The word Brisa means outside. Brisa means outside. The Mishnah, which was incorporated into the body of work, which was compiled and authored by Rabbi Yehuda Nossi, the Brisa was not brought in. Right? I mean, who validated and gave credibility to the Brisa, even that the Brisas that, because it's the opinion of Tanoim. It is the opinion of Tanoim. That was what? That was Rav Oshia, right? Ravina Ravashi is Bavli, but Rav Oshia, Rav Chia, Rav Oshia, the brises they studied, those are the brises which are legitimate brises. Meaning, although they were not incorporated into the Mishnah, but what Rav Chia, Rav Oshia studied in their Beis Medrash, those are credible brises. Rabbi Yehuda Nasi is also not Mora, right? Rav Chia was a Talmud, was a student of Rabbi Yehuda Nasi. Rav Chia. It's not the equivalent. Legitimate means, sometimes you quote something, and they're authentic. It could be, first of all, it's not even an opinion to be considered. There are opinions to be considered. The question is, do you rule like that or not? So if you have a Mishnah which rules different in Brisa, the Mishnah has greater value than the Brisa. But the Brisa is credible. Somebody quotes something, it's not even to be considered. It would be almost like, to a degree, it's not really the same. The Gemara says, Beis Shammai Mokum B'Sil ain't a Mishnah. Right? But even though we do value Beis Shammai, in terms of at least that his position stated in the Mishnah. But a Brisa is not credible, you're wasting your time. It's something which never made the grade even to be considered, whatever that particular statement says. So, Tosefta is Rav Oshia. The Tosefta. Rav Chia and Rav Oshia are the Brises. Rav Oshia. Okay, so Reish Lakish says, "Hi Tana Bro." He's referring to the what was quoted the Brises, the Tana Bro, that outside Tana Bro, the Tana of Bro, Sova in L'Stiris Elipsof, the Tana Didan, but our Tana, the Tana of Mishnah Sova, Yesh L'Stiris Mitchil Vatsof. Okay, let's say a woman says, "Dance before me, and I will marry you." So, what she's agreeable. When you finish dancing, let's say he has to dance 5 minutes. To be, let's say it's worth $10. So dance before me, and I will marry you. So if you say that, and let's say the valuation is $10, right? Let's say it's $10. Well, let's say it's a Shava Pruta. Shava Pruta. So now, the obligation to pay, not just the physical payment. When does that obligation come about? When the service is complete? Not the payment, but the actual financial obligation. Is it when it's complete, or it gradually accumulates, and it's only when you finish the service, that's when I pay? When do I owe? When do I owe you the debt? Is it continually accumulating, or it is only when the service is complete? If it accumulates over that period of time, so now he says, now you're married to me at this moment. Let's say when you pass the Shava Pruta, let's say the dancing is, she says, I want you to dance for me for 10 minutes. 10 minutes. So let's say we make an evaluation. It's worth, he's a professional dancer, it's worth $10 or $100. So is it from the first moment you start dancing, the $100 started to accumulate? Or no? When she said 10 minutes, that means the debt of the $100 came about at the end of the 10 minutes.
She said 10 minutes, but she wanted the whole thing.
No, wait. Good.
She said dancing. That might be different. Then when you get to the Shabbat, you should be okay.
But whatever we want to say. No, even the Shabbat Pruta part. Here we're saying the problem is Mekadosh B'Milveh. So we're not talking about the Shabbat Pruta part, because then the case is it's less than a Pruta. The reason why she can't be married is because it's less than a Pruta. Right? If it's the Pruta, anything before that, it's less than the Pruta. It has to do with that, but again, it's not. The reason it's not Mekadosh B'Milveh.
She said, dance me for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And less than 10 minutes is not, that's like saying, I'll marry you if you give me $10, and you gave $5. At that point, she wouldn't be married.
Wait, true. Dance with me for 10 minutes, and he dances 10 minutes. Let's say she said 10 minutes. And 10 minutes is, let's say, worth $10. If you're of the opinion, if she's not going to be married. Why? Because when you finish dancing for me, that service, I will be agreeable to marry you. Meaning that means he's not going to collect the fee for it. When he's not collecting the fee, that fee, did it come about, the obligation, at the end of the 10 minutes? Or was accumulating, and it's only you pay it at the end of the 10 minutes? Wait, yeah, we had it in the Amem Ches. If it accumulates, so at the end of 10 minutes he says, I will not collect the fee from you, mean I'm relieving you of the money that you owe me, and with that I'm marrying you. But what are you giving at this moment? You're giving him maybe the last moment, but the last moment is a Shavah Pruta. But she said the 10 minutes. I agreed to marry only if you give me $10. You didn't give me $10. Right? Everything but that last moment was milveh. You're waiving the milveh. Let's say a person said, I'll marry you with a milveh. She owes him $1,000. And here's a penny and $1,000. Let's say her mind is, the reason I'm agreeable because you're waiving the debt of $1,000 and giving me a penny. But in her mind, it's because what you're giving me. He didn't give her $1,000 and a penny. He gave her a penny. The $1,000, he just relieved her of the debt. That's waiving a debt. She's Eini Mukudeshes. She's not married. Even with the Pruta, she won't be married. Why not? No, but the question is, again, the way it works is when you offer a service, every bit of that service has value. But when is... Of course it has value. What are you talking about? Wait, let's talk about... Wait a second. Let's talk about a Mishnah in Socher Sapoli. Person hires somebody to do a job, to paint the house. And he paints half the house. Right? And then he quits in the middle. What do you have to pay him? Do you pay him for half the job? No, so no, it depends. Let's say to paint the house costs $1,000. So he paints half the house. You owe him $500. So it says, if to complete the job, you could do it for $500 to complete it, then you have to pay him $500. But let's say a contract coming to complete it says, it's not worth my while. It's $750. It's worth his while for $750. So then you only have to pay the first person $250. Right? Make you what? Yeah. No, but this is dancing. This is an hour's worth of entertainment. Every bit of entertainment is entertainment. We're talking about something which has value. Every moment has value. Every moment has value. Except I want a full measure of that value. Full measure. He gave half the value. It definitely has value. Right?
Everything out. He's done a lot of work on it, all the parts are lying around, and then he says, that's it, I'm not finishing the job.
He puts you over, and he has against the wall.
And you've got no option but to leave the car there, and what is that worth? You say there that the job is done when it's done, and at the end, there's some value behind it.
You read a AAA magazine recently? Okay.
Yes, the auto shop, they do that. Cars doing that.
Sure.
Scrupulous characters, they get you.
Sure.
They don't give you the price, because I can't give you a price.
Let's first see.
Because I first have to see, so they open it all up, they give you the price, and then you got no choice.
Right. Okay, good. So let's talk, okay? If the person does that, you owe him nothing. You can even sue him for damages. But let's say now he does do the job for a regular price, for the price which is its value. So now you start calculating, how do you come up with that value? He says, well, I'm going to charge you for labor. There's parts and there's labor. Well, labor meant how to take it apart and put it back. But if you would have stopped in the middle and not put it back, would I have to pay you for that labor? You call the damager. It's only in retrospect, when you complete, then that removal has value because of the completion. This is like Korei Almanas Litfor, right? Korei Almanas Litfor. You tear something. So if you tear on Shabbos in preparation for sewing, although you're tearing the material, that's called a creative act. That's not called destructive. Same thing. If you take it apart, let's say a person's not a mechanic. He takes it apart, but he didn't damage the car, but he left you with the parts all over. So you damaged me. You're a damager. So what, I'm going to pay you for labor? But if you complete it, that labor has value. So now, after everything's said and done, how do I calculate it? Now, in retrospect, that original removal, to figure out, to identify exactly what has to be repaired and not, has value. Do we say now, in retrospect, that debt was accumulating? Or do you say, no, the obligation only came when you complete it? That's the discussion here. Or it's at the very end. Okay. That's what we're talking about. No, no, he has a right to quit, but the question is, what do you owe him? That's the question. What do you owe him? Right? I hired you for you have a right to quit in the middle of the day. So good, but the question is, what did you give me? I have to pay you what you gave me, what I benefited from your labor. But if it's going to cost me more than 50% to finish the job, I'm not going to pay you 50%. So you figure out what the value is to complete, and then the difference I pay you for what you provided.
Any agreement to do something, to pay for something in the future, there's always a question that it starts to accumulate.
If it's a job. We had this earlier. Person is a jeweler, and the person gives the person gold and says, you know something, and he develops jewelry.
Right.
And he says, I'm marrying you with the labor in the jewelry. Right? That's the discussion. When I complete it, that's when I'm marrying you. But the question is, the value increased multiples of what the original raw gold was worth. But the question is, that value, did it accumulate? Well, no. When he completes it, now I'm giving you the full value. So there was never a debt. So that's the same discussion. Same discussion.
You want the person to say, I'm marrying you, cumulative amount of dancing that I did, and there's no value that goes to you until it's just not realistic. It's not practical.
No, it has.
No one thinks that way.
Has nothing what you think or what you don't think. It's just what the reality. When the Torah says a person is obligated to pay for a service, how does it manifest itself? It has nothing to do with the mindset. No, of course not. That's what I said before, but it has nothing to do with what you think. It's just the reality. When the Torah says you must pay for something, a service, how does it manifest itself? It has nothing to do with your mindset. Now, see, if you would ask a different question, it would be a different question. What happens if a person says to a person, I'm marrying you with $100, and the person starts counting out the hundreds. This and that, counts up to $100. So he said 100. Although she's not married till he gives her that last dollar. But since each dollar that was counted out was going towards the marriage, every part of it is part of the act of marriage. Right? So over here, let it be accumulative. If you dance before me, I'll marry you. So good. So the dancing is all contributing to the act of marriage. So why is it milveh? Why is it any different than paying you every moment of my service? I'm giving you something. Right? That's a question. So even if it's accumulative, but factually, it's something I'm giving you. It's not a debt. There's nothing to talk about then. It's nothing. Here she ultimately got...